so excited about today's video. I love making floral arrangements. I really pride myself on finding great artificial flowers, and so I'm just really looking forward to sharing every resource I have and a lot of ideas here that hopefully help you. I sat down to enjoy my coffee quickly before we start talking all things spring florals. You've seen me make coffee here a lot, I think, on my channel over the years, and you might have noticed I have a new addition to my morning coffee routine. It is called the Good Stuff. When I found this product, and I got it here in the mail, immediately opened it, put it in my coffee that morning, and then picked up the phone and called my mom and told her to order this. I was that excited about it, y'all. So this is a product that you add to your coffee. I believe you can add it to other things as well, but it acts kind of as a creamer and a sweetener. It's mocha flavor. So essentially when we add traditional sugars or creamers to our coffee, they're really just empty calories, and that is not what this is. The Good Stuff is a brain boosting supplement. It is not a creamer. It is a supplement that acts as a creamer. You put 1 scoop in your coffee and you are good to go. You've just turned your cup of coffee into something that supports your focus, your energy, and longevity throughout the day. There is collagen in here, which supports joint health, healthy skin, and nails, all of that good stuff that we ladies care about, you know. Give me all the collagen. Love putting collagen in my coffee, and now I just have to use this. It also has Himalayan pink salt in it that cuts through that acidity of coffee and actually promotes hydration, because you know coffee can dehydrate you. So this is a great balance. If you like to have your morning cup of coffee, you add this to it and you're giving yourself benefit. The ingredients are science-backed, proven ingredients. They really care about what they're putting into their product and they want it to work, and it does. I can tell you I have been using this for a few weeks now and I feel so much better throughout the day. I don't have that afternoon crash that I usually have after about 3 p.m., which I know probably comes from my cup of coffee. This helps eliminate that. When For Wellness offered to sponsor this video, I said absolutely, because every coffee drinker needs to know about their product. Had to share it here with you today. If you'd like to try it, I will put a link in the description box below. I'll also put a QR code right here on the screen. If you use one of those to subscribe to their products, you will get 25% off for life. Plus, use my code Blane for free shipping. I will also have that in the description box, but I highly recommend you try this, especially if you're a coffee drinker. I'm glad I got to share it here with you today. Finish this up, and then we are going to start talking all things florals.
I want to start off today by talking about just how to make an arrangement with faux florals and share what elements in the design process that I think makes an arrangement eye-catching, easy to make, and also beautiful. I always say a great arrangement begins with the right base. I always try to choose a vessel that complements my space and fits with the design or season that I'm decorating for, whether it's a classic terracotta pot, a ginger jar, a pretty basket, or something else even more interesting. The right foundation really does set the tone for that arrangement. I love using vintage pitchers, urns, or as I mentioned, even baskets for a more unique and collected look. Once you have your container, adding floral foam or even packing paper is something that I like to do, just depending on the vessel type that I choose. These things help secure the stems in place and will just help the whole arrangement feel more structured. This is the arrangement I created for my breakfast room table this year. My theme for Easter is Peter Rabbit, and I wanted a centerpiece that not only fit the theme, but also felt soft and elegant for the season. Since it's for Easter, I used a classic woven basket as the base. To bring in that charming garden-inspired look, I layered a beautiful blue ribbon with soft white florals, a cabbage for a fresh organic touch, and a pair of elegant ceramic bunnies. One thing I really love to do when I'm creating a table arrangement is to extend the florals beyond the centerpiece and onto the table itself. I think this adds a romantic, whimsical feel that makes the whole setting just feel that much more magical. To show you another simple way to make a big statement with just a basket and a few beautiful stems, I wanted to share a couple of arrangements I've done in the past using this larger woven basket. For this one, all I did was layer 2 different colors of single stem hydrangeas on one side, intermixing the shades to create a natural, effortless bundle. A statement arrangement like this is so versatile, you can place it just about anywhere in your home for an instant impact. Another way that I love to use this basket is by arranging multiple floral bundles for a fuller, more layered look. Here I've just combined white cabbage roses, pink peony, and a delicate filler bundle to create a design that feels effortless and gathered. To achieve this look, I like to start with my largest blooms first. So in this case, the cabbage roses, I bundled them up with the filler and the peony. I placed them loosely in one area to establish kind of a focal point, and then I will add in more, tucking them in around the roses, allowing for the petals to create dimension and movement, just to weave everything together, filling in any gaps and adding that natural, gathered from the garden feel. What I love about this style is how relaxed and organic it is, almost as if you've come in from gathering those flowers, you set the basket down on the counter, and they naturally arrange themselves into something beautiful. Now let's talk about scale. A good rule of thumb is that your florals should be about 1.5 the height of your vase. This helps create a balanced, natural shape that feels full but not overcrowded. I think considering placement is just as important. If you have tall ceilings or you're really just trying to make a statement, I say go big. Opt for tall stems, oversized branches, or even some dramatic blooms to create a striking, eye-catching arrangement that fills the space beautifully. For my Easter mantle this year, I took a completely different approach. Instead of keeping everything neatly arranged in baskets or vases, I went for what I like to call a spring floral explosion. I started with these large bundles of lavender as a base. These created structure but also gave me a soft foundation to build on. From there, I layered in smaller bundles of faux florals, tucking them in to fill any gaps and add variety. Then, to bring a pop of color, I added pink single stem roses, which really stand out against the lavender and the greenery. My inspiration was the way wildflowers grow. Uncontained, a little sporadic, and just completely full of charm. I wanted the whole arrangement to feel natural and free-flowing, like a field of spring blooms. As I built this out, I also thought about movement. I did work from one side of the fireplace to the other, allowing the arrangement to flow visually across the mantle. If you step back and take it all in, you'll notice that it even dips downwards slightly towards the coordinating basket around the hearth. It's playful, organic, and just a joy for the eyes, I think. Exactly the mood that I wanted to create for the season. One tip that I've always heard over the years that I think is worth sharing here is that if you want your arrangements to feel truly natural, work in odd numbers. So groups of 3, 5, or even 7 flowers tend to create a more organic and visually appealing look than even numbers. And don't be afraid to mix things up. Varying the heights and textures and shapes of your florals will add that depth and movement, making your arrangement just feel effortlessly natural and beautiful. When building out arrangements with several different elements, I do think it is easier to either start with your largest item or bundle or start with your focal flowers first. I personally gravitate towards hydrangea, roses, or tulips. Those are usually my favorites. After I place those, then I will add filler flowers like baby's breath or perhaps another element just to make the design more interesting. You can add things like lavender, other greenery to add a bit of softness. Really just play around with it and be confident in the decisions you make, because if you like the florals that you're using, you give yourself a little bit of patience and trust the process. I promise you're going to love how your arrangement turns out. Okay, next let's talk a little bit about making floral garlands. These are one of my favorite ways to bring seasonal charm into a space, and they're actually pretty easy to make or put together. You just need a base for your garland. I really love using eucalyptus, ivy, or even grapevine is a really great starting point. The garland that I use for mine when I typically build out a garland is this green garland that you're seeing here. I get it from Hobby Lobby, so I can't link it for you, unfortunately, but I will try to link some great alternatives that I love from Amazon below. After I have my base, I then like to add in the florals that I want to use, and I usually add those by type and by color. To create that full natural look, I like to place my flowers very sporadically. I often start with the largest flower first and then work my way to the smallest. That's a great way to do it. But don't forget to leave a few open spaces. It just keeps the garland from looking too heavy and makes it look more natural. The garland that you're seeing right now is the garland that I actually built out for Valentine's Day this year. I just used my simple green base and 3 different types of roses to complete this look. And I think it turned out simple yet elegant and very romantic for Valentine's Day, but you could also do this pretty much any time of the year. You could do this for spring as well, and I think it would work great. Now let's talk about where to find the best artificial flowers. I do have a few go-to places that I like to shop. I usually source all of my faux stems from either Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Kirkland's, or Michael's. All of these places tend to offer great selections at affordable prices. You can actually find some great budget-friendly floral options on Amazon. My favorite flowers that I've sourced from Amazon are definitely my tulips. I have them in white, yellow, and pink. They're all real touch, and the quality is just top-notch. I think they look extremely lifelike. I even had one of my girlfriends message me the other day and say, "Are those real?" That I think speaks to the quality. I also recently found some fabulous real touch roses on Amazon. You can see the quality close up here. I really like all of the roses that I've sourced from Amazon, but these might actually be my favorite. There's several different styles that I have. This style particularly is not real touch, but I think they're very nicely made. I like how they look in arrangements. So this is another one that I recommend, but I just love the fact that not only can you find decent prices on Amazon, you can read reviews from actual customers, and those typically never fail. Hobby Lobby is the one place where I like to source most of my floral bundles. I have several favorites there, but my absolute favorite to put in my home, and the most asked about floral bundle here on my channel for sure, are these ivory cabbage roses. If you can't tell, I do love them. They're all over my house. Hobby Lobby also has great seasonal selections. They're a great place to check, especially on their aisles with the bundles where the prices are a little lower than their stems. You can find some really fantastic florals. I also think Kirkland's is worth checking out this spring. They had some beautiful stems this season. When I visited their stores, I shared them in my spring shop with me, but they had some gorgeous flowers this year, and I thought the prices were pretty good there as well. So if you want high quality faux pieces that look real, here is what I look for. I look for soft fabric petals with realistic veining, wired stems that I can shape, and I do like color variations that actually mimic real flowers.
When it comes to sourcing faux florals for the exterior of my home, my go-to is almost always Balsam Hill, especially for potted plants. You will notice that all of my faux potted plants that are on the outside of my home this year are from Balsam Hill. They just have the best quality. They last, they don't fade in the sunlight, they hold up really, really well. This is always my number one recommendation. I know we're all in different budgets, but if you can invest in something like this, you really are getting what you pay for when it comes to Balsam Hill products. I have been using them for many, many years, long before I was on YouTube, in and around my home, and I am still a loyal customer. But I did get some new ones this year that I'm really excited about. Of course, you'll see them in that video coming very soon. But I'm looking forward to styling these with you on the patio very soon, so stay tuned for that video. I'm also going to try out a few faux florals for the exterior of my home from Amazon this year for the first time. So when I get those in that video, I will let you know my thoughts. Balsam Hill is also my go-to when it comes to wreaths, again, especially for the exterior of my home, because they are made to last in the elements. They always hold up well for me. I do have a bit of a covering on my front porch, but when it rains here or there's any wind of any kind, my front doors do get wet, and I've had wreaths out there for many seasons and they still last. I have 2 of these, and I had these on my front doors last spring and summer, and as you can see, they're inside now and they look brand new, but they're actually a couple years old now. So I picked up the same hydrangea wreath this year in the pink, and it is just so beautiful. As you can see, the detail on this is incredible. It is real touch. They just do a really, really lovely job. Definitely recommend their wreaths as well. One of the things that I absolutely get asked about here the most on this channel are my cherry blossom trees. These trees I originally sourced from QVC several years ago, but they still sell them, the exact brand, at Home Depot and I believe on Wayfair. So I usually have a resource to link for you, and of course I will link them in this video, but they are great quality. I have carted these all over the house over the years. I've had them in the living room, in my bedroom, in my office, so many places, and they really truly look beautiful in just about every space. So this is something that I really recommend for an artificial tree, especially for the springtime.
I also have this fantastic wisteria tree that I put on my patio for the spring and summer months. I really enjoy that one as well. If I can find it, I will link that too. The pop of pink on this tree is just so beautiful, and it has a really great stem.
So that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions at all in the comments below. I am happy to answer them if I can. And if you have any great artificial floral recommendations that you love, let me know in the comments below. I would love for you to share what you're loving here. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time here today with me on YouTube. I will see you again very soon in the next one. Until I do, take care and happy decorating.